What's going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. This time it's Enterbay Steph Curry version 2, and you can order this figure at bigbadtoystore.com. Just click the link down below. As you can see, we always start off with a box. Beautiful box by Enterbay as usual. It's a bigger box if you haven't had one of those Enterbay figures yet. It's a gold foil text, kind of like with resembles Golden State. Nice blue texture here. Of course, with the signature of Steph Curry, and mind you, this is the version 2 of the Steph Curry. He does have the version 1. I don't think it's available anymore, at least in Big Bad. This one, the last time I checked, it still is, but just keep an eye on it. If not, you can always go with the 1/9. That's more readily available here, and you can see there's a stand. Here, kind of like transparent. Form is separated from the figure, which is a good touch because from the older figures, they're attached and they tend to transfer their colors from their body, because you never know how long they're being sitting on the warehouse and whatnot, what kind of conditions. So as you can see, and this is the figure itself. You can see the body, kind of disturbing to see without any uniform there. But as far as hands is concerned, of course, you get the assortment of hands from hands, those kind of three looking, which he does. He comes with some baller bands. I don't know if you still call them those. This magnetized ball, which is nice detail. I'm not gonna, time on those, but this is something new to me. This is the first time any of my figures had a t-shirt that it says NBA champs. I know Michael Jordan, the last shot, has this, but I don't have that figure. Also with Steph Curry, you have some, pretty good accessories here. He does come with the MVP trophy. A back-to-back MVP, by the way, for the regular season, not the finals. That's Kevin Durant. And his first championship, it was Andre Iguodala. So this is 2016 season, I believe. MVP. I'm not sure if that is a unanimous year, but the only unanimous MVP ever trophy out there. Also comes with the championship trophy. That's what type of player he is. He got the MVP. Derrick Rose only has the MVP, or Kevin Durant when he was with Oakland. Got the two trophy tier out there. But they didn't include Dirk. Now that I'm thinking about it, they didn't include his regular season MVP. That's all right. It comes with this just a championship trophy for Steph Curry, and nice colorway right here, and Scottie Pippen shoe that they can't even spell out air. We know it's the air tempo, but this is mostly he's a newer player, so I'm not. That's just not my time. However, I do like the player, the Steph Curry, one of those transcendent players that stand the test of time. 20 years from now, we're still gonna be talking about him in a similar fashion. Let's say to LeBron James or Russell Westbrook. They're the players who kind of changed the game. I think Kevin Durant is a part of that as well. There's so many trends, and I'm not sure if, as a player, I would say he would be. I'm not, like there's certain players that you would say you can put it. A shooter is a shooter. Like the diameter of the rim didn't change. However, this is his ankle. However, I'm curious to see if Steph Curry would be effective, in the 90s, where they're a bit more physical. Yes, I know he doesn't go to the lane often, like he shoots from way downtown. But like with Ron Harper doing the hand check on him, would be able, because right now he's a dual threat. He can drive to the hole, or off the dribble, or back in the day, John Starks, Jerron Harper, Gary Payton locking him down. Would he still be able to take up those threes? I would say yes, but I don't know if he's gonna be this effective like he is. Harrison, because I do have a bootleg Kevin Durant, so that it also comes with this compression shorts and some socks, and of course the price, he doesn't come with the golden plaque, but he's still there. As far as the figure itself, it's a good size. I would say a little bit taller than I expected. Curry is what, like 6'4", perhaps, a little bit skinnier, on the skinnier side. Like I said, I'll show it later on the size comparison, but it's nice because he does have this nice tights, this compression shorts, so it hides his knee joints, so you don't see those ugly knees that they do have. Of course, I still would take those knee. Perhaps doing some Fison body. Even though it's Fison, I'm kind of scared that I'm gonna break them. It all depends, I guess, on how you display your figures. With NBA players, I tend to be a little bit more creative, or dynamic shots, dynamic poses, at least with my Enterbay figure. Curry here, you see that championship thing right on the top of his collar. Bummed out that it's not in line, I guess, production when they printed it. Just straight, it's minor thing, so I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it. But and his uniform overall, it's a nice look. I'm not a big fan of that iron-on stickers that they use with, especially with him. It's because the logo of Golden State and his number in the front is just too big, that I feel like over time, if not when, but if that sticker becomes a little bit weaker, that it would tire thing out. That's one fear that I do have. Apologize if I'm having some with the darkness of this figure, I'm trying to have some trouble focusing with his. I mean, it's there's a nice detail. Black, so decided not to use any fill light this time. Why? But but it's a bit harder because there's a lot of dark spots on this figure. Also the blue aspect of his uniform, and also the texture of this uniform is not screen. Highlights going on here, cameras going crazy and whatnot. But yeah, he got some tattoos on his body, little tattoos, like the actual player himself, Steph. It's nice. It's a nice touch. It's always nice to have that on a player, or at least on a figure-wise. Somebody like Dennis Rodman, LeBron James. It makes the character more colorful, as it translates to the figure. So somebody who doesn't have any, it's as far as the head sculpt, as always, I always put Enterbay right below Hot Toys when it comes to head sculpt. However, they're still pretty strong. It might not look like Steph Curry all the way, although the likeness is there. What did they get wrong? Maybe the hair. I don't know. Mind you, this figure has been released 2 years ago, so Curry, his looks might have changed overall now. But I would say the eyes, his nose, it's still pretty spot on. I don't know what made it off by a little bit, but you can see the veins on the side of his head. But you can't mistake it. You can't mistake this for anyone else. Especially on this angle, you can clearly see Steph Curry in it. I wish he does have I wish he came with a second sculpt. Something with playing around his mouthpiece. They did that on the first release of Steph Curry, the version 1. He does come with a separate mouthpiece, so maybe that's why they didn't do it with him this time. Holding the trophy, just gonna put him in several poses before we wrap this thing up. Cradling the trophy, maybe his first championship, just pretending here there's certain the shirt is nice. It's a nice fabric, so it just drapes down his body. Although it's still a little bit awkward when you see this type of clothing, baggy sometimes. But overall, you can pull up some poses like this, and if you want to buy one more for Kevin Durant, you could as well. Shirt is gonna fit him. Yeah, depending on how you display your figures, obviously, but for the most part, he's gonna be in his uniform. But it's always nice to have alternate on how you display your. I would have made him cradle the MVP. Troubles there balancing because he's rotating, and here he is just drilled a 3-pointer walking back on defense. He does that this post. Obviously you have more joints on a 1/9 figure, so this might work better. But yes, you could still definitely pull off some beautiful. You just gotta be creative in how you hide the joints and all that stuff. Although there's not much joints, but just make up for the lack of, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. But they're better for photography or video in this matter because I mentioned there's lack of cleaner, so to speak. And here he is. He just drained the triple, holding his follow through right there. Of course, I'm a big fan of Steph Curry. I'm a huge fan. Even though people are hating on the Warriors, I'm not hating on the Warriors itself. Do I want to see more competition in the NBA? Of course I do. I wish Durant would leave them next year just to give a balance on the NBA because it's just a bit boring to see them as the favorites year in and year out. Especially LeBron left. Cleveland. But they keep on beating out the East, so I would love to see more competition. Plus, I think I think it would get the full credit because right now it's Kevin Durant all the way. Even though he won the championship without Durant, but he's like I mentioned earlier, he's a different type of player, a generational player. He changed the game, how it's played, especially now. Guys like LeBron James are physically gifted. He isn't. He is still a big guy at 6'4" for regular folks, but in the NBA, that's not out of the ordinary. He made one thing and he perfected his craft. Him and Klay Thompson just changed the game forever. The way we look at 3-pointers, the analytics behind it. I still think they could win without Durant. That's why I wanted to see it again. Hopefully just to swing the balance, and he's just fun to watch. Like I like it when right now he's dropping 40 points here and there. Here he is, size comparison wise. I don't know why Derrick Rose is so much shorter than him. I feel like they have the same size, but Rose is a bit bulkier. He's more muscular even now than Steph Curry, but it's on this, they're both not, they don't have any stance or special pegs or anything like that. It's just Curry's a bit taller than him, and obviously Durant should be a lot taller than Curry because they're tall, and Curry is like 6'4" at best, perhaps. I guess the size is a bit off, but it's okay as long as it's a bit shorter. You can see the uniform, the difference there. And that should be it, guys. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully I convince you to buy Steph Curry 2.0. And if you're going to, please click the link down below. It'll take you to Big Bad. And not only Curry, but if you're a fan of NBA, several types of NBA that's still available. Dennis Rodman, old school, new school. You ask for it. But as far as this figure, it's a great figure. I would definitely recommend this figure, even if you are not a huge let's say you're a Golden State hater. But I don't know if you can hate on Curry himself. Pretty much he's a clean cut guy. He's a little bit, he showboats here and there, but not annoyingly. But he's relatable. That's one thing I could say about him is he's not that tall, he's not fast, he's not a physical specimen. So if you are a player wanting to make it big, you look at him, it's like, hey, if I just practice shooting a lot, maybe you'd be like him. Of course he has the pedigree. His dad is an NBA player, but still, you don't get to where he's at now without hard work, and that's what he just exudes when you look at him. Not physically gifted, but still pretty good. So yeah, once again, thank you for watching, guys. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you in the next review.